Shirley with Spirit of Matter. And this is a very Saturnian episode, but it's going to use as well. So we are going to bring on Deneb Algadi to join us with the spirit of Saturn. Saturn, the ruler of the ascendant, Capricorn, 23-degree ascendant, Saturn, 16 degrees retrograde in Pisces, Saturn hour, Mercury day with Mercury in Leo, Sun in Virgo, Moon just left alkaid, so there was a nice election for alkaid talisman, very powerful alkaid talisman that facilitated the Venus-Lilith Ketu conjunction on 7 degrees Libra. And so midheaven ruled by Mars, 11 degrees Scorpio, with Mars on an erratic degree Gemini, releasing from the square to Neptune. Just 1 degree orb, but releasing. And so I spontaneously made an alkaid talisman. And this one is accompanied by the signature note. I didn't invoke, because I'm not going to invoke Ketu, but is accompanied by the signature note of the 777 Venus Lilith Ketu in Libra. And Al-Qaeda has to do, as said, with those who plan the mass, the democide, okay? Those who plan the global democide, the Holocaust, the all kind of mass death, and protection from these, from thieves, protection of travel, blending into the crowd, protection while grieving, mourning, protection of your dream state. And after I made this alkaid talisman, and mind you, it was very spontaneous. I had some wormwood and just made some stickers and invoked alkaid and Ursa Major. And then I hoped it worked and went to bed. And I made a couple of energy activations, and I found a new channel that was both a Lilith activation for absolving like narcissistic abuse, narcissistic relations, kind of abusive relations without naming, giving it, tag names. And aside from that was the inverted penis. And the inverted penis was actually used to shield from any attack on the nervous system, the spine, the dream state, sexual assault by spirits, or people with astral sexual assault, kind of like what They Don't Know What's Energy, aka Tamar Yaron, did to me. And Emet Dibarti, okay, I spoke the truth. And so imagine I go to therapy and that's the therapist. So the inverted penis is also for the story of Isis and Osiris, and the many uses of this story by satanic cults, and the uses of number 7. War happened on 7 October. Yes, what the person did to me was a part of the preparation of 7 October. Conjoining with the medical system and the banking system and so on. So, yes. And not only that, this is basically the penis was drawn all over the region. I don't know about Gaza. I'm for sure it was drawn in Gaza as well. It's just that we don't see it and it's pretty much bombarded, so we don't have evidence. But this is basically the inversion of this type of MK Ultra psychic attack. And if you ask, how do you know it's MK Ultra? Well, because it's written on the walls, everywhere in Beersheba. So the writing's on the wall. I wouldn't connect the dots, but that's kind of like what it is. And he literally ran into a series of videos that shield, and I can put them in the comments, that shield and protect from this energy, from all these things that I have been dealing with way too long. And again, Emet Dibarti, okay, I spoke the truth. It's so long that I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to name the name and purge it. because no one has a power over me, and I have sovereignty, and I have authority over my body, and so on and so forth. So as I made these cleansings and set with ketu and set with lilith, and with this alkaid talisman, and the very persistent energy is kind of like really shielding, purging, and so on, I realized something very, very simple, okay? And that is that there are just certain people who honestly believe that they are some kind of superhumans. And I'm not saying blame or judgment. They've grown in cults, they're this, they're that. And they grow up on certain beliefs that they are superhumans. And because of the bloodline they were born into, and again, they usually torture these children, and then they're indoctrinated and programmed for this type of programming. So you have to take it into context, okay? And you have to take it into context. And for all those who try to kind of interfere with the message, they get the inverted D, okay? They get the D back to sender. They get the 777 back to sender by the power of 37 on Sefer, by the power of the Big Bear, and all these forces that they have been working with, supposedly they get them all inverted because we take back the egregore. And so what your bloodline is, what your bloodline isn't, okay? Your bloodline isn't any excuse to violate, to harm people, to oppress people, to enslave people. And it doesn't matter what the skin, the gender, the origin, the country, the belief, the spiritual, or whatnot, okay? Your bloodline isn't. It's not going to protect you. No one's going to protect you when you do that. But you have no protection. You're not a superhuman that can do that and get away with that. And no. The only reason it ever worked is because you went through a certain journey of the soul with someone who has no idea that people even believe what you believe. And once they got that that's the point, they're like, no. We were really sending you healing and blessings and this and that. And you hold a belief that basically holds you from healing, which is the belief that you have a right to do that and get away with that. You don't. Nobody's life here matters less than another person's life. You can't just attack people and expect them to, no, you're dead. As within, so without, so within, so without, you're dead. And you're very lucky to have run into people that have the mercy to say immediate death, so you can cross over with the least amount of suffering. So basically, to take away that karma with the least amount of suffering and reset, because Pluto is in Saturn times, reset. Not the fathers, the children suffer because of the karma of the fathers. No, reset. But you do have to understand that holding belief that your bloodline is, or anything, is reason for you to oppress people, to torture people, to rape people, to play with the minds of people. And you're like, I can get away with that because I do it here, because I do it. No, you don't. No, you don't. They're just going to the core of the issue, and then they change it from the core. And you're dead from the core, or you change, cross over. Known and unknown. Okay? And so for you people out there that have been running into all this weird shit, just know it happens because there are people who absolutely believe, and it's not necessarily their fault. They're grown into such cults, whichever secret societies, this, that, they grow into such cults that they believe that, like, you're dead. You bleed the same, you die the same. Only I got mercy for you, so I make you immediate death. That's it. No one has the power over me. No one, if you're watching this and you're under such attacks, no one has the power over you. No one has a right to power over you. No one has a right to wield power over you. No one has right to this. No bloodline, no this. Your bloodline can contain talents, psychic talents, absolutely. But if you think your bloodline is here to make you oppress people, to make you superior to other people, you're setting yourself up big time. And the more you get away, the more you feel like you got away with that, the more the other person is going through a Neptunian level, Plutonian level. I really hope for you not Sedna level, because that's, you don't want to be there. And so with the other person just going through a process, a deep process, where they get to it from the core and then they change it from the core and then they kill it from the core. These beliefs are ruining your soul. Not only the torture that you've been, listen to survivors and learn from them. Survivors of satanic ritual abuse, in whichever form you've been through this. And if you still are holding the bloodline belief that, oh, my bloodline is making me superior to this, superior to that. No, that's the core thing. They try to program you to ruin yourself. Why do they tell you? They tell you, the first initiation for the Masons, for the secret societies, they tell you, you go, you trust this person, you take clothes off, you take this, you take that, and you ask question, why are you doing this? They say, oh, because you are free, you're not a slave. It shows you're not a slave, you're free. You see, they gaslight you. They gaslight you. And they keep going with it. Until when you do such things, another person like me or another person runs into this and they say something very simple. People who hurt people. So if you're that hurt, that for 5, for 10, for I don't know how long, for 17, for over 17 years, they haven't stopped trying to wield power over someone on psychic level so that nobody can touch, so they can't go to psychologists, so they can't go to lawyers, so they can't go to this. You are ruining your life. But that other person, they're going to learn about this phenomena. They're just going to learn that that is connected to that, is connected to that, is connected to that, and they're going to get justice. And they're going to abolish it not from you, the person, but the entire intergenerational lineage, called society, whatever is attached in spirit and in matter, they're going to put it end. Now we have Pluto Aquarius and 2 cults. Those people think I'm superior because I can do it like this, I can do it like that. But you'd be surprised. You would be surprised because the person, even if you begin to think you're successful, the person says, why haven't I not died? The person you attack say, why haven't I not died? And then they get another information and another information and another information and another information. Now you begin to feel powerless. So what you do, attack more. You don't need to attack more. This person, not your abuser. I'm not your abuser. It's not karma, it's not reincarnation, it's not this, it's a reset. Reset. You're getting somewhere where the people that you should be addressing are not in this void, and you try to reach to this void, this void, so what now? You want to be exposed for planning 7th October? You want to be exposed for planning mass democide in world? Can you imagine along the years how many children, how many people you heard? They crossed over. But some people cross over, say cross over, but they help from other side. Because they say, how many of us will cross over? So let's say person suicide. Okay, suicide. You got it. You got away with murder because you made them suicide. This suicide. Okay. They come, they heal. Because they took the sovereignty. This way they yielded the sovereignty. So they heal. But they say what the people on earth. They need to change this. And so doors open. You want to keep yourself at the door. When the doors open one by one by one. This is what you're doing. You say, I know I'm doing it wrong. Yes, but you keep doing it wrong. You keep doing it wrong. You keep doing it wrong. It's all the voices tell you. All the voices tell you you keep doing it wrong. All the ancestries of all the children and the infants, registered and unregistered, and this bloodline and that, but all of these people tell you doing it. You don't understand. You put in this path and this path and this path, and you try to make another person to go another path. You say your path not good, your path. If you are such an archangel, a guiding angel, you would become with message that is loving. You false light. And for those people that are dealing with that, it's just because these people are born and programmed in such a way to think that they come from this and that bloodline, and other bloodline are like slaves to this bloodline. It coming since Inuit we had that. The Ubermensch, they didn't invent that, okay? But time and time and time and time again, invasion, war, genocide, democide, famine, plague. Before we had World Health Organization, before we had World Economic Forum, time and time and time and time and time and time and time. And what happened to the people that they think, we're superior, we survived this, with that. You're standing at the door. And then the door for humanity opens and says, now we deal with this. Now we deal with this. And what happens with Pluto and Aquarius? What do we deal with? The cults! Of these particular bloodlines. Bloodline can be a lovely place to things transmitted through DNA, talents, psychic, something that you've developed across the generations. Yes, it's lovely. And they should mix. But if you think a bloodline is, this bloodline is above that bloodline, is above that bloodline, you know whose blood you eat later. It's the people that are at situation in their lives where they're both stressed, they're homeless, they're in addiction, they take drugs, they're blood poisoned. Then they have to donate blood because they need something to buy the next drug, okay? The medication you get is their plasma. And no, it's just not filtered. It's filtered with the energy. Because you thought you're so superior, when you need the medication, is for these people. But the energy, you cannot alchemize this energy because you caused this energy. By thinking, I'm superior, let's oppress them, okay? So all of your medicine, you live to yourself. The medicine that you do, you live to yourself or to live with this medicine. You come, whatever you work, it's George, it's a psychologist, a psychiatrist, comes to your patient. Comes to your patient to heal. You try to take the spirit, take the talents, take the this, take the that. And you think, oh, I got away with that because they didn't sue me, because they didn't this, because they didn't that, because they didn't that. Because they went through a process how to change for all these things to all patients to not happen. And you become like fish in the sea. For the sea is the sea, and their ship will be sailing. Right now, Venus, Lilith, Ketu, it symbolizes, yes, the feminine, the this, the that, but it's generalized this. It's the bloodline. And these beliefs about the bloodline, that one is more than other, one is this, one is that, is actually, you know what hurts? It's essentially what is hurt? Your blood. You're basically causing blood disease to you. And blood disease back to center, because you try to make all kinds of diseases to others. All this you cause to you. And another person has to eventually do that magic on you to kill you humanely. Because you cause so much trouble to yourself, but trying to cause so much trouble to others. Target people that didn't do anything wrong. Not only say, I want to take responsibility. I want to heal myself first before I turn to others, before I sue another. Because I want to heal myself first. Heal my own patterns. And for these people you hurt, what's going to happen? Either they're going to die in the crossover, the help from the other side, and or they're going to ask, why didn't I die? Why didn't I die? Well, because we are now in Pluto Aquarius and we have to finish with all the cults. And you know about the cults. Your job to return this back to sender, but reset. No karma on karma on karma on karma. Reset of karma. So people cross over like a psychopomp. So you ran into a psychopomp. That is what the big bear is. It's a psychopomp. It helps people process grief. And when person crosses over, yes, it's a psychopomp. I know people been using the big bear to inflict ailment on another. It's stupid. People do stupid things, what can I say? But yeah, in 2018, we are in 2024, nearly 2025. How do we say in Hebrew? Chalas עם זה. Let alone the 2017, 2016, 2007, the 1990s. Let alone with that. So what your bloodline is, all good things. Just don't fucking ruin it. You didn't come here to harvest on people, especially not that people didn't do anything wrong. And if they did wrong in life, then they would go to correct that, to heal that, to check on themselves, to change for the patterns. And sometimes to change for the patterns is that pattern that looks at the self patterns and say, okay, for the other person, you've been so insistent. And if, and then what a mind thinks, like a mind of person, it thinks, okay, well, hurt people, they don't have place to heal. They don't have resources. They don't have this, they don't have that. It's true. And so they bless you with resources. So the gifts that they do bless an enemy. But then they realize that the cause of this, that you got try to get to nervous system, to this, to that the cause of this initially is because you still hold belief that for the bloodline, your bloodline is bloodline of person who's supposed to do this oppression, this and that, and get away with that. It's causing you blood disease. And whichever blood disease you inflicted on me, they heal. You know what I did before I did today? I washed my feet, I went to pedicure, I went to this, I went to that. I wonder, why do I assist in my own blood flow? Why? Oh, because I'm cleaning from your blood diseases. Sending them back to sender for all of these people that thought that their bloodline is so and 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 so. The blood circulation, and my blood circulation is healing. And as I heal myself, I realize, oh, they do this for not because they don't have resources, but because they hold this worldview that their bloodline. And I know this causes blood disease if you hold. And then what do you take for the plasma of the blood of exactly the people that you think you need to oppress, you need to this, you need to that, and you can get away with it. You cannot get away with it. You're going to need the blood. And not only that, if you go to donate blood, they don't give you, if you ask permission, say, just like you make blood test, okay, give me blood test. I will sit here maybe twice, maybe I'll come even a couple of times. Give me this option. That you put this thing, it's very hurtful, and then it's hurt all the while you do it. It's like, why do they torture people for no reason? I would donate you blood gladly, okay, it's healthy for me. Then you put the normal thing, I sit twice the time. Okay, I sit twice the time, but I don't have to go through pain in order to do this. It's not necessary, stupid. I should have option and not to, at least. So not only are you causing oppression to your own blood, when you need the blood, people are already in a situation where they say, for this blood, it doesn't go to the people that need it. And what it goes for, and you have to go through all this trauma just to do something good for another person that is for no reason. They could give you the same needleless blood test and you could sit there twice the time, or you could come twice. Same thing. Same thing, it's no problem. So why is it done? On purpose. More suffering, and then your veins get this blood with all this torture that you caused. Why so silly? And try to control the movement, control this, all of this torture that you cause. Not only is it back to sender, back to this, back to that, not only is that, but you're degenerating the race. You could keep degenerating yourself and you hold these beliefs. It's killing you. Everyone around you come to this point where they believe perhaps we should manifest that this person dies. So no suffering anymore because he suffers so much. And again, listen, there are satanic ritual abuse survivors. The Imagination podcast, people that can have a deprogramming, that can have orders, that can have, everything you need. If you set intention to get out of it, to heal from that. Or if you need to unalive yourself, to take a sovereignty by this, so to have what you need to have, even if you need that, assisted suicide or that, for to cross over, It's there. You must tend to this belief of the bloodline, because this is causing you blood disease that you literally, no matter what plasma, this plasma is very expensive. And you sign with blood for this plasma sometimes. And they make you go through this. And then after you've been through this, they will tell you, you see, that's the blood you did, that's the oppression you did, now you get it back to your veins, it's karma. It's not karma, because they are the people that convinced you about this belief about the bloodline. And you try to do this to others. You plan 7th October, you plan democide. You plan what happened to Palestinians, and you plan what happened to Jews. And then you tell them, you see? No. You planned this. It's called gaslighting. And if you are dealing with such people, understand this is what they're going through. They're born into this, and this belief is programmed in them, and sometimes takes crisis, and whether it's open doors for healing, or they get repercussion of the actions, because they thought, I can get away with this. Sometimes people after their death, why the name not cleared? Because no, you cannot. And you see Mars now on heretic degree Gemini. Moon square Mars in a T-square with Neptune. Try to invade nervous system because you think you have the blood type to do that and make a person suicide. It's suicide mission. And Saturn retrograde. On what? My Lilith. The Lilith purge. But the reason for this abusive dynamic with the therapist, with the psychologist, the clinically trained psychodynamic psychotherapist, was because they hold belief that their bloodline, well, until you release that belief or challenge this belief and give you all the resources that you can watch, you're going to keep doing this and 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 doing this. And you are trapping yourself in your own mental prison. But it's not just mental prison, you're harming your blood. And you see what happens to try to scare you. How much can I do until this person speaks? Do you know who accompanies? Can you read the tonality of the voice? People from astral, people that have been around me in the astral, already sick of you for doing that. People in Netherlands, people in US, sick of you. Stop. Stop that. The codes of the 777, this misuse of all the cosmology that we have. This misuse is causing all this harm that's going to come on these people that have been misusing this to go against humanity. one by one. And if you are dealing with that, you can set intention with your own ways. You see informations come to you. Right now, yes, it's a great time to close these portals, to purge these type of activities. Stop being a bully in whichever, and stop this type of behavior. But the person that you target in this way is one thing when you try to seek for help and you say, who can help me, who can help me, who can help me, who can help me? Eventually, here is the case, the person that you attack, giving you here this resource, this resource, this resource, so much so it comes that they have to protect yourself, not enough, have to give you death. Death. They have to give you death because you suffer so much and you cause so much. Because if I said back to sender, what you sent is inhumane. So death is human. They have to be a psychopomp. The law does not stand with you. Not the law universe, not the cosmic law, not the law. Does not stand with you. And it never will. The law does not stand with you. It does not. It never did. In fact, all problems you try to cause another, with their business, with their apartment, with their society, with social group, it's beyond defamation. It's legal offenses. It's fraud. It's identity theft. And you did it not to one person on a mass scale. What you got involved with. Bankers from Eckveld. And you try to blame another person that they're trying to rob you. When it's you. Mind you, I live on welfare. Okay? just so you know. Okay? And try to block my wealth. Try to block me from working. Block me from speaking. Block me from healing. Block me from this. Block me from that. Well, I almost ended at the G7. Next thing I know, I'm in Geneva. That's where it gets you. Pluto about to go Capricorn. It is in Capricorn, 27, 29 degrees Capricorn. In the big sextile with Uranus and Neptune. Do you have any idea who you got involved in this? Go to Netherlands, go to Israel, go to this, go to that. Enough. You and the people, for the reason that I came to therapy, both of you. And all these secret societies, like dominoes. What you thought to do with the people. You know it. You know it. You know the astrology. You know the astrology. You know this alkaid talisman. You know this. So what? And to harm me, would it help anybody? Wouldn't know. Try to sacrifice me? No. Try to sacrifice people, children? No. Try to put me in over party? Memento mori, איזה מידע את רוצה? Try to use hospitals against me? You know what I met in hospital? I met the person that told me about these hermaphrodite cults. And I learned about open dialogue, about housing first. And I met people that say, well, I'm in good environment. I hear channeling good supportive voices. In bad environment, it's all these intruding things. I say, well, you got the answer. That's psychosis. Bad environment. But what consists of this bad environment? The people that think, because I'm this bloodline, I can do everything, get away with everything. No, it's not your fault you got tortured. So you got disconnected from the root. It's not your fault. There are points of interferences. And that we bring in changes from dark ages to golden ages. It's not your fault. But person must protect themselves. Because they have right, I have right to live peacefully. Not have to protect myself everything. No. Peacefully. Your perpetual wars? No. None of that. And you commit fraud after fraud after fraud. You're fraudulent, this fraudulent. For you think that the times you enter my energy, you think that there is no computers that see for this electromagnetic activity, for this electromagnetic activity. Darling, I made the thesis proposal that enables to observe for what you do. The law never stood by your side. But I would not persecute person when I don't understand what they do. So I say maybe they got trauma in childhood. Maybe they don't have resources to heal because they're the offender. Who will help the offender? Maybe they don't got money. Maybe, I don't know. My point is not to ruin your life. But you also cannot ruin mine. Law never stood beside you. Never. We can observe for electromagnetic activity with thoughts. 20 years before I made my thesis. The law never stood beside you. Science never went by your side. None of that. None of that. And who? And although it does move, this person really? And who are you? The Vatican? The church? We're having this conversation. But what happened to the Vatican and the church during the Pluto and Aquarius? You tell me, you're an astrologer. You know that. You know that you know astrology. A free man need not oppress another. A free man doesn't even feel the need to oppress another. I wish you freedom. I wish myself the same. God bless.